Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to talk about the new Pokémon TCG Pocket set. This was posted by the Japanese Pocket account, so it is something we need to have a little bit of a look at. It is launching on the 30th of September. That is next Tuesday, but more importantly, it is a day after my birthday, no big deal. And it is called High Class Pack EX. Now, if you are a fan of the regular Pokemon trading card game, and you follow the Japanese version of that game even a little bit, or even if you just, follow this channel, you will see the phrase High Class Pack and go, oh, I get ya. Because at the end of the year, Japan always gets a high-class pack. Last year, it was Terastal Festival, focused on Terra Pokemon, but then it also had, the Evolutions, which was frankly a pretty big deal. The year before that, it was Shiny Treasures EX, focused on Pokemon EX and Shiny Pokemon and all of that. Well, this is that. It's high-class pack EX, and it's the Pocket version of what we've had in Japan in the regular card game for a very, very, very long time. Now, there's something else that you might notice on this screen. It says the 30th of September to the 30th of October. This is the first time that we've had a Pokemon TCG Pocket set which disappears. Now, I know as well as you do that most of the time, like right now, you are spending all of your daily packs, etc. You're spending them on the most recent set. You're spending them on Secluded Spring. I don't blame you. And before that, you were probably spending them on Wisdom of Sea and Sky. And before that, you were probably spending them on Eevee Grove. I understand all of this. The point I'm making is, we have the option to go back if we wish. If we want to go back, we have the opportunity to just go back and join back in. Okay. You know what? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Not with this set. This set does not give us the option to go and join back in. With this set, we have 1 month, and when that month is up, the set is gone. Now, I'm in two minds about this. On the one hand, I want to ask why, but I used to teach business for many years. I know the why. The why is to try and build hype for the set. The other thing is, this had better be a set full of reprints with absolutely no new cards. Seems to be, actually. Seems to be a reprint set. Which, to be fair, as annoying as that is, yeah, that's got to be the answer here. That's got to be the answer. Because you cannot have a limited set and fill it full of exclusive cards. Like right now, over in Secluded Springs, people are realizing actually Suicune, pretty good card. That's a very nice card. Imagine if we turned around and were like, can't play that anymore. Well, you can play it if you've got it, but if you don't have it, gutted, you're never getting it again. Or the Celebi, which is very playable from that set. That would be terrible. Absolutely terrible. We would hate it. Well, the good news is, this seems to be a reprint set. Because if we have a look at, some of the screens here from the trailer, like take a look at this one. These are just existing cards. They're also pretty good existing cards. Like, this is the thing about high-class packs over in Japan for the Pokemon TCG. They do a bunch of reprints. They also reprint the good cards more than the bad. So, Giratina, right now, and honestly, pretty much since the second it dropped, Giratina has been one of the absolute best cards in the game. Giratina has been an absolute monster playability-wise. It's seen a huge amount of play since it dropped in Shiny Revelry, and I see no reason this would change anytime soon. This has been an absolute beast of a card. The Eevee EX from Eevee Grove that lets you evolve into any of the Eeveelutions. Because it's got a different name to Eevee, you can now play 4 of the basic, essentially, in your deck to help you out with your evolution line. That's a big deal, a card that sees a huge amount of play. The Pachirisu, that is one of the best small Pokemon, basic Pokemon, low energy and all of that. Put some tools on, do decent damage. That's a card that's seen a huge amount of play. And sure, like the Lucario has not been as good. I'm not claiming the Lucario has been as good. But I absolutely am telling you that on the whole, they seem to be focusing on the more playable cards. Which, if I didn't know that, that would be my prediction based on what we see in the regular TCG. But it's kind of cool that we now do have that confirmation. Now, there's something else going on here about the fact that it is a reprint set. Because what it says here is 1 pack, 4 cards, and it includes a 4 diamond or higher card. So you're only getting 4 cards per pack, but every pack has a 4 diamond or higher included. Oh! Guaranteed EX in every pack, which incidentally might help to explain the limited nature of the set in terms of time, because essentially this is going to be, for any EX that is reprinted in here, it's going to be easier to get hold of them. It's going to be so much easier to get hold of them. But what's that I hear you shout? You want something new? Good news. There's a bunch of alternate arts. There's 4 alternate art cards that were shown off in the trailer. And firstly, they all look cool. Secondly, they're all crazy playable. Like Professor's Research. I have been telling you guys pretty much since Pocket came around. Every time I give you a deck list, I believe every single deck list I've ever given you has had 2 Professor's Research in. So, support a card that draws 2 cards. Like, I've given you a lot of deck lists in the past year, and I'm pretty sure all of them have had 2 of these. We never had an alternate art of that before. Well, wonderful news. We got one here. And actually, one of the first cards, but back in the original set, back in Genetic Apex, Greninja. Greninja was in Genetic Apex. We are a long way from Genetic Apex at this point. We've had a lot of sets released. Greninja remains one of the best cards in the entire game. The ability Water Shuriken here, once during your turn, you may do 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Now, to be fair, since Rare Candy came around and made this a lot more consistent, this has actually been way better, which I think we can all be very happy about. But this has always been good. Rare Candy just made it a little bit more consistent. We're rocking it a little bit more easily than we were previously. And basically, this is just a great card. And now we've got a really stunning, like proper job stunning, alternate art version of it. And now everyone can be very happy. If we go back to Genetic Apex, did we have a fancy version of the Greninja? No! We did not have a fancy version of the Greninja. And again, this is something we tend to see in high-class packs over in Japan for the main card game. They tend to give us, not all the time, it's not a hard and fast rule, but they tend to be giving us fancy versions of cards that for whatever reason never got a fancy version before. What's another card which sees a huge amount of play and is awesome but never got the fancy version in Genetic Apex? Gardevoir. Another Genetic Apex card, Stage 2, great card, bunch of play, never got the fancy version. Well, now we got Gardevoir, so when you're accelerating energy with Psy Shadow, you can do so with a much prettier version of the Gardevoir, which is lovely. And then they've given us a little bit of a hint at something potentially even cooler with this Pikachu. Yeah. Now, this one did get a fancy version before. It's a 2 energy attack, so it's the one from Genetic Apex, which actually had a full art, in Genetic Apex and a gold in Genetic Apex and was the immersive card in Genetic Apex, look, it was Pikachu, all right? They kind of went overboard. They should have done it. It's Pikachu in set 1. But the point I'm making is it's that, and now we got a fancy version. And this particular version here kind of gives us a little bit of a glimpse as to what these fancy cards are going to look like in the future. Because you know there's going to be others in the set. And frankly, this is awesome. But I've told you all you need to know. I've told you what we know about the set. It is releasing on Tuesday. It is 4 card packs with every pack having a guaranteed EX. There's alternate arts, reprints of good cards. If you are somebody who really enjoys playing the game, this is going to be a great set. If you just want fancy shiny cards, yeah. Even though it's a reprint set, I think there's a lot to get excited about. But I've told you about all of it. So now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all of this in the comment section. Tell me how hyped you are. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokémon Pocket and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.